Hello and welcome to the lecture on display inline or block. So we have seen how to create the box, how to float them and how to position them. Let's understand how to display those boxes inline or in a block. Okay, so I'm going to create one more example folder here, call it display. Okay, let's create a file here. Okay, let's open this up and we'll put our boilerplate code there. Say display. Okay, this will create a very simple example to understand the concept better. Okay, what we'll do, we'll work around with span tags, right, and div tags. Okay, let's understand. Hello, this is first span, second and third span. Similarly, you can have the div tags. So let's look at the output and I'll explain you what is display inline means. Okay, if you look at the output, the span tags never have a new line. That's the difference between div and a span, and div always create a new line for your HTML tags. Okay, why don't we change this behavior? We will change div not to have the new line and span to have a new line. Okay, that's the property we're going to change. And you know, every tag has a box, right? You can control that box. Now the box behavior for span is don't add a new line, and a box behavior for div is to have a new line. Let's change that behavior. Okay, it's a very simple one line code that you have to write. If you say span as display block, it's add the new line. If you add the div as display inline, you will remove that block, right? With just one line of code, you're actually trying to change the behavior of the HTML tags. You understand that everything is a box. Okay, every element on the HTML page is a block. By changing the block as block, display as block, then you automatically adds a new line. When you want to add all the boxes one after the other, you use display as inline. All right, so that's a very simple example to understand how to use display block and display inline. Let's create a simple menu to understand display and inline blocks. We'll say display inline block. We open this up, delete all the CSS here. Let's create a simple menu. Okay, so let's add some styling to it now. The body color I'm doing as white, and to li I'll say display block. So when you say display block, it adds a new line. So let's add a background color of blue. Okay, so now that you have your items, your list items, and then it's all in a block, right? If you make it inline, okay, they become inline. Okay, that's how you basically control the blocks. Remember this concept very well. The display will display inline and block. If you want to have a block, right, these are blocks, and if you want to have inline, like in a one line, okay, it comes like this. Okay, there's one challenge here. If you want to add a width and a height, let's say I want to have a width and I want to add an height, is actually not applicable to this. It's not trying to apply the height and the width to the menu, right, to the boxes. For this you have to mention something called as inline block. Okay, when you use display inline block, then you can apply height and the width. It has both the properties of a block and an inline. So understand when to use inline block. When you want to have a width and a height controlled, you can use inline block. This is inline, and it also work as a block, right? You can specify the width and the height for the blocks, not for the inline ones. And you can have inline and a block. Inline will put all the elements in one line. Block will add new lines to it. So this is one of the classic example of how to add, when you work with menus, how to add the menus line by line or vertical. Okay, so that's about display inline, display block, and display inline block, and I'll see the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture. Let's look at how to import a Google font. Okay, so let's create that folder. Okay, let's create a file here. googlefonts.html. Let's open this up in the brackets. All right, so let's add the boilerplate. This is the Google font. All right, so we will see how to import Google font and how to add them onto your page. So let's go to fonts.google.com, and then we will search for the font, and the font that I'm looking at is Open Sans. You can add the plus button here, right? And once it is added, they'll give you some HTML code to use. So there's a link tag. We'll copy this link tag. We will place the link tag in the head tag, right? We have placed it here. This is to link the font, and then to the body I want to apply this font. Okay, how you can apply? You can say font family Open Sans sans serif. So they already gave you the code here, how to apply the CSS rule. So now whatever you write will be having this Google font attached to it. So let's write some HTML code here, heading, paragraph, and all those things. And let's view this. And this font will be Open Sans, right? If you want to see the font name, this is Open Sans. Okay, if you remove this, it go back to the standard text. If you remove this, it go back to the Open Sans, that is nothing but the Google font. Okay, similarly, if you find any other fonts, let's go back to our Google fonts, minimize this, and you want to have a curvy, like a book style font. Let's say you want to have a different font. You can go to font. Let's say you select slant, and you want this homemade apple. Just click on the plus sign, and you can have this. Both Open Sans and homemade apple will be available with the there's an or symbol here. You can import both the fonts here. Once you do this, you just have to say open homemade apple to the body, right? And then you go open your page, and then you will have that font. It is so simple to import Google fonts, and this is how you do it. All right, so that's example of how to import a Google font, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on layout with CSS. So now that you know how to create a box, how to float the elements, how to position the elements, and how to display them inline or block, it's the right time to learn how to do a layout. Means how to have a header and a footer, sidebars, and then the content area. Okay, we're going to create that layout now. Okay, and I'm going to show you images to show how we are trying to achieve these layouts. Okay, so let's do this example. All right, so I'm going to copy paste a couple of files here. So first we're going to do the layout. Okay, what is a layout, right? If you look at this layout, you have an header layout, header box, then you have a content box, then you have a footer box. Okay, so you have 3 different type of boxes available. That's basically the layout. You have a header layout, content layout, and a footer layout. So this is one of the layout without the sidebars. That is the first layout we'll create. We'll create a header, we'll create the content, we'll create the footer, and we'll not have sidebar. So eventually we'll try adding the left sidebar and the right sidebar. Okay, so we'll start with this file. We'll see what's inside that file. Okay, we'll open this file first. Right, it's just the text, nothing inside in it. And then we will try to, this is the header layout, this is the content layout, and this is your footer layout. So we'll try to add some CSS to this, and then we will try to have a nice layout for this. All right, so let's create, we'll duplicate this. So layout with header and footer. Right, let's open this file. What we can do is we can even preview the file and see how it's behaving in the output. Okay, this is the output. Let's open up the file. All right, so let's add the CSS. All right, so let's start doing it. You can even say style. Okay, and then you can start adding the styles here. Okay, we will change this tags. Okay, we'll not add a class, but we'll change these tags. Okay, it's simple to understand. You have an header, you have an articles, 2 articles in this section, and then you have a footer. There's nothing fancy here. You have an header, you have section and articles, and then you have a footer. Okay, so we'll work on the tags now. So we'll have a body, and this is the width of your page, so 940px. So you can go up to 940px. So when you float, the text will float all around to 940px. And when you want to bring things in the center, when you see like this, right, you can see align center, always you can see align sector. But what is a good way to do it, you can have the margin of 0 and auto, so they all float to the center. Okay, they all float center. Okay, and then you can have a font, and there's a way you can mention points or EM. You can mention your size of your font in EMs as well. And then you can name your font. There's a backup. If that font is not available, you can go back to another font, close it here, put a comma, and then the sans serif. Okay, so now your body is ready with the text. Let's edit the header, section, article, aside, footer. Okay, we'll say display as block. So we want to have a new line for everything. Then header and footer, we also want to have a padding. We want to remove the padding, and we want to text align center, right? And if you refresh it, okay, you can see it's aligned center. You have this nice margin 0 auto, basically brings everything to center. And then what you're trying to do is you're trying to make the text to the center, and then you have a nice layout where you have the header, you have sections, articles, and then you have footer. Okay, let's enhance this, and let's enhance this by adding the sidebars. Okay, so what we want to achieve here is we're going to create one more layout. We have done with header, content, and footer. Let's add this left sidebar, and this left sidebar you will have an image and some caption to it. Then you have some links which is floated to the left, and then you have this border which is dashed border, okay, dotted border. All right, so we'll add this flow left sidebar, and then we'll try to float them onto the left. Okay, and then the content to the right. I'm going to create this. So for this we have to have another file. So let's copy paste this file with left bar. Okay, let's open this up. Okay, here we have footer, we have header, we have section. What we can do is we can have a sidebar here, and I'm going to copy paste the sidebar here. So that is basically the sidebar. Obviously you have to move this to the left, right? The only thing that I'm doing it here is I'm adding an image, then fig caption, then I'm adding some links here, okay, with the UL tag. Now let's look at how you have to put it to the left side. Okay, before that we're going to look at the output. There's no image here. Let's copy paste our image. All right, so image will be appearing here. Close this, open a new one. Okay, so your layout doesn't looks good because it's all floating onto the block, so it's just floating one after the other. What you want to do is you want to float this left so that this block comes sit side by side. Okay, so let's do that. So what you can do is you can go to a side and you can say float left. So once you say float left, you're almost the page has been done, because you have a left bar, you have your content, you have your header and footer. You can add a line here by adding the border, right? And then this basically looks like the format that we want to create as well, right? You have your left bar, you have header, content and the footer. All right, so let's do some touch-ups here. You have section and we'll say float right, just in case if they are not floating onto the right, you can make sure they are floating onto the right, the sections. And they have a width, they have their own width of 700px. Okay, and you want to really have a padding to the left so that the image and the text doesn't go attached to themselves, means the left sidebar and the content doesn't attach themselves, so you're adding some space there. Okay, and then you want to put the border now, right? If you look at the output, okay, I'm trying to add some border here. 2px solid, you can say dotted, right? Hash B2A497. Okay, you see the dotted line here. Then you can add to footer, you can clear from both. This is important. Clear both will clear all the floatings that is happening. To float one after the other, you have to break that floating. And you want to say footer, I want to in a new line, so you'll say clear both. And you will have the width for the footer 940px and height is 100px, and you can add some padding to the footer to look it nicer, right? And once you do that, you basically get a nice formatting as we want to have it, right? Let's look at this, what we want to have. Yeah, it's exactly the same the way we want it, right? We want to have the dotted line, and then we want to have some padding onto the footer, and then this is floating onto the right, this is floating onto the left. Then you have some space over here that you have added via the padding, and then it looks nice with the layout of left sidebar, content, the header and the footer. So let's create a navigation. So what we want to do is we want to add a navigation bar right after the header. Okay, so let's create that navigation. All right, so we'll add the navigation now. So we'll show you how the navigation looks like. Okay, so I've copied this layout. Let's open that up. So you have your header, content, footer and left sidebar. So this is a navigation we'll create: home, about and contact. This is a navigation right after the header. Okay, so we'll open up our navigation file. So right after the header you want to add the navigation. So let's look at it. Right after the header you want to have the navigation, so we'll add the navigation here. Okay, you see it's here, we just float inline, we'll remove the dots and it should be good to go. All right, so let's do some settings onto the navigation. So we are in the header and the footer, so we'll add it here. So for the navigation we will text align to center, so they go to the center, right? And onto the li, first we add to the ul, we'll remove the list style. None, so list is gone. Okay, and we'll remove the padding as well. We'll also remove the margins from bottom, so it really look like the content is starting right after the menu. Okay, now we'll to the list items. We have to display inline block. Remember, we have discussed about that. Okay, so once you have the inline block, they are aligned in line by line. Now you can control the margin and all those things, right? 0 0 0, and then you want to have 50 px onto the left, and they have the spacing there, and then you can add the width as well. Okay, so they have the 100 px width, so it looks nice. Now you have a navigation bar where you can have the links, and the navigation bar is right after the header. Okay, so let's continue. Let's add the right sidebar, and then we'll close this page. So this is the layout we are doing. There's the fourth layout. So we are added the header, navigation, content and footer, and the left sidebar. Let's add this right sidebar. Okay, so let's do that. Let's create that page. Let's open that page. So we'll have the same aside, and this time we'll have this right after the content, so we can float them onto the right. Okay, so let's look at the example for this, how it looks like. Okay, they are floating right after it, so it just float it right after this content. So what we can do, we can create left and right, and then we can attach it this to left and this is to right, and I think that should be enough. So we have aside which is floating left. Now we can say aside dot a left. Okay, and then we can float it left. We can say aside dot float left, and we can say float it right. All we have to do is we have to take this class and aside, add it to the aside. Okay, it float left. Then you take this, go to your another right sidebar, and you have to just have to say right. So you still see that it is floating onto the bottom. It's still on the right side, but it's still floating it down. So what we can do, we can look at this section, this content area. Right, what we can do is the section is right side aligned, we can make it left, right? So now we can reduce the size so that this can fit in, right? So if you say 500, yeah, so it fits in here now. All right, so this fit in now. So just add the line, dotted line here, and then you're almost done with the page. Okay, so we're just playing around by left and right, floating them left and right, and that's all we are trying to do it here. Okay, let's add the dotted lines to the section now. Okay, we can say border right, same thing, and then we have a line here. They are very simple to follow and very easy to create layout. So you see, with simple CSS, right, you can actually create a beautiful HTML page layout. Okay, and we haven't done really anything here. We have just worked on the layouts. Okay, we have aligned the things onto the left and then pushed the content to the left and this one to the right, and then we have added some dotted lines, and rest of the things we have just added the width, and then we pushed everything to the center. Then here we have display inline block, and then we have added some padding and spacing into the list items, right? So if you look at this page from CSS point of view, you should understand how many boxes are there, and then how you are moving those boxes onto the page. Okay, so by now you should be able to understand how the CSS works, right? How to create the box, how to add margins, how to add paddings, how to move around the box to the left and right, how to make them display inline and block inline. And what we are trying to do here is we are just playing around the box. If you have to remember one thing about CSS, there is a magical box inside every element, and you can show it via these boxes. Okay, you are playing around these boxes. The CSS is nothing but playing around with these boxes. You have boxes for every tag, for every element onto the HTML page, there is a magical box. All you're trying to do is you're trying to visualize how should I move my boxes. Shall I add the margin top, margin bottom, padding left, padding top, putting them onto the floating onto the left, floating onto the right? Where is my position fixed, absolute or relative? This is what you're doing in CSS. If you're really thinking about CSS, you have to think in boxes, because all the layout is defined in boxes. You can see there are all the elements are boxes. So when you work around doing a layout, think of as a box. You could draw on a paper on a boxes and see which box you want where. Then you try to define those elements, HTML elements, and then create that boxes around that elements, right? Then you try to place them wherever you want to place them onto the HTML page. Okay, so that's all about how to work out with layouts with CSS. Do this exercise so that you get to understand many of things, like how to work with display inline and how to float the item boxes to left and right, and how to play around with the boxes with margins and paddings. Okay, so that's all in this lecture, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on things to remember for intermediate to CSS. Let's do a quick recap of what we have seen in this section. We have seen that every tag that you write in HTML has a magical box which you can control in CSS. If you want to remember something in CSS, always remember that every element that you write on a web page has this magical box. So when you're designing a web page, always think in boxes. Think you have box, and how do you arrange all those boxes onto the HTML page? That's one of the key things that you have to remember when you design with CSS. For every box, you can have, you can add borders, you can add margins, you can add paddings. Margins is between two boxes, padding is inside the box. Then you can change the size of the box. And also when you add margins, right, you add margins which add spaces between the two boxes. Padding, we have seen how to add space inside the box. You can also float the box left, right, and also you can decide not to float it. There are three types of positioning of the box that we have seen. We have seen fixed, which never change. You can choose any position on the web page. Then we have seen absolute. Absolute basically go back to the HTML and start from there. And then relative is relative to this immediate parent. Then we have seen how to display boxes, like how to display them inline one after the other, how to display a block, and how to have inline block which had the width and the height. Okay, this is the three properties. Display inline will arrange all the elements side by side. Block will arrange all the elements one after the other. And display inline can be used to change the height and the width of the box, which still remains inline. Alright, so these are the things we have seen in this section. Make sure you understand all the things of how to move your boxes in CSS. Alright, so that's all about in this lecture. I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the section summary. Let's see what you should be able to do by now. Well, you should be able to understand how to work with CSS boxes and what is the concept around it and how to create a box. Then you should know how to move the boxes around the pages, and you should understand what is CSS float or CSS clear. You should know how to do the positioning of elements with the CSS. You should know what is display inline or block. Then you should know how to import Google Fonts and how to create the favicon for your site with CSS. And I believe you have also worked to the exercises and examples that we have provided, and you should know how to create a website layout. So by now we have covered HTML and CSS together. So you should be ready to start building a website. In this section, we have shown you how to create a layout. That is your foundation for creating a website. Alright, this is lecture we have covered in this section, and I hope you are very clear about all these concepts. Alright, so that's all for this lecture in intermediate to CSS, and I'll see you in the next one.